What's going on, Funky Funkos? It's Poppy Funko, and I want to welcome you to the only place where there are no rules to collecting. Now, you're probably a little bit concerned about the title. And yes, I have been breaking Funko Pops for over a year now. I wanted to walk you through my journey, how it got started, why did I keep doing it, and some of the complications I've ran into along the way. You might be wondering, do I still do it? And ultimately, what's the goal here? And I'll go through all of that in this video. Before we get started, I do want to show off these awesome Halo pins that I'll be giving away in this video. And if you want to win, just stay tuned because I'll be explaining how to win at some point in this video. So how did I even go about mutilating Funko Pops? For fun? Hobby? Living almost? Well, it started off with Super Saiyan God Goku. Rest his soul. I don't have that pop anymore because my wife had thrown him away. I do save every Funko Pop that I do the deed to. But it did start off with the 2014 Super Saiyan God Goku. I had wondered what was inside these Funko Pop heads, so I went to find out. When I found out there was nothing inside their heads, I wanted to change that. So huge spoiler alert, the things I find in their heads, I put them there. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. It's all for satire. It's all for storytelling, and it's all for creativity and just playing outside the Funko Pop box. So I had cut open the Super Saiyan Goku and glued them back together. Cut them open again on TikTok, and the video took off. Now in TikTok, the Funko Pop community was not big at all. There may have been like 3 or 4 accounts total, and I jumped on there and found a unique space and just took advantage of it. And I've always ever been that type of person that doesn't play by the rules, so I had no problem doing what I was doing. But later on I did find out that that Funko Pop was 80 bucks at the time. That's, sure, my loss. But I really didn't lose out. You see, I've gained far more from cutting open that Goku than it would have ever done for me by keeping him in his box. He didn't even have a box at the time, but you know, that the whole point being, they're more useful outside the box. Now, I do have Funko Pops in the box, and I am an avid out-of-the-box collector. I just don't have room. However, I'm not afraid to take each and every one of them out. So I wanted to take the idea I did with Goku, and I wanted to bring it up a level and make it seem almost impossible, almost as if it was truly part of the Funko Pop. And the only thing I could think of was to put something in the head that would kind of defy the physics. Then I had the idea to shove a Dragon Ball inside the head of a Funko Pop. This was not easy whatsoever. By far, one of the hardest things I've ever done to make sure that the Dragon Ball was in there without breaking the Funko Pop. And I'll show you one, actually. I actually have a Krillin head right here. If you look inside, there's a Dragon Ball. And I originally did Piccolo, but I made another one with this one to prove a point that the Pop is fully intact. There are no cuts or anything, and the Dragon Ball actually lines the entire head and is much bigger than this cutout right here. So my discovery transformed from, you know, just finding something in there to how the hell did that get in there? And after that point, I wanted to just make it satirical because people were starting to believe it, and I didn't want people to believe it because I didn't want people to cut open their Funko Pops. That's not the intention. And most of the comments that I get about my content is, oh, you're just trying to get kids to cut open their Funko Pop. That's the furthest from the truth that it could be. I had then placed Nutella, I had placed an egg, I had placed food inside Funko Pops, I had placed things that were in their heads that if you believed they came with food or perishable items, then maybe you are that type of person that natural selection targets. At one point, I even put a handwritten note inside. I pulled it out, and it just said, "Don't take this so serious." And people were, oh my god, it's fake, obviously! The point was to make it look fake, and not to focus on what was in the head, but how it got there. And of course, the satirical story that I'm giving as I'm performing the lobotomy. My content has transformed quite a bit since I'm moving more towards the satirical portion, being just plain satire of Funko Pops. But I still do try to push the button on what I can find inside of a Funko Pop head. So later on, these brains came into the picture. Now this was actually created by Funko Freddy, and he took my trend and transformed it into something different. Gave it a more realistic type of appeal. And this caused a ton of controversy. It turned from satire to, wait a minute, is this actually true? And then of course it cascaded into something larger and just ultimately took away from the magic of the mystery because it may have been too realistic. And by the way, if you do want to win these Halo pins, I want to know what's the most grotesque thing you've ever done to a Funko Pop, whether it's just take them out of the box or maybe you cut one open yourself, but let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like and follow me as well, and I'm going to choose one of you guys to win this Halo Funko Pop pin. But I want to come clean, guys. The channel isn't about cutting open Funko Pops anymore. It's not about just satire anymore and just being destructive to Funko Pop. That's the smallest story of the Funky Funkos. You, myself, anybody who wants to be a part of this community. The whole story is to say that there are no rules to collecting. So if you want to collect in the box, great. Out of the box, great. If you want to destroy your Pops, it's on you. I do it. If you want to play with them, great. You should never let anybody tell you what to do with your collection. And nobody should be telling you how to collect. I know firsthand what it feels like to be shunned out by a community of people that decided that my idea of collection just did not meet the standards of the community. And all of a sudden, I wasn't a part of it anymore. I'm talking about you, subreddit r/Funko Pop. These guys just straight up couldn't handle my type of collecting. It doesn't mean I'm not a collector. But see, these guys have imposed rules to collecting that apparently weren't black and white, and they weren't broadcasted so everybody can know what they were. So if you break their rules, you get silenced or banned. Now, of course, it's perfectly okay to give each other crap. I mean, we're all collectors here. We all have preferences here. If you don't like collecting out of the box, that's great. Make fun of the people that do, but it's not your prerogative to tell them that they need to change the way they're collecting or shun them because they don't collect the same way you collect. Because in the Funky Funkos community, bullying will not be tolerated. So in the comments below, let me know, have you ever been bullied by the way that you collect? I'm Poppy Funko, we are the Funky Funkos. Poppy Funko out.